Welcome to Efiwe, excellence without stress.
Hi guys, this is Efiwe, excellent without stress, and here is your favorite teacher, Adegbite Oluwaseun, for the learning of mathematics. So here today we are going to treat another topic entirely, and this topic is change of subject of the formulae. So here I have some package for you in which we are going to treat together, and from there we make many questions so easy here in order for you to assimilate very fast, so that when you have your exams you'll be able to perform well as far as this topic is concerned. So here are some things in which I would like to show us. They are called the steps in which they are involved in change of subject of the formulae. So the first step we have to take is being by clearing fractions, root signs or powers. So that's the first thing that we have to do whenever we have any question on change of subject of the formulae. So which means that we have to make one variable of the other the subject of the formula. So here step 2 that we have to take is to open the bracket and collect the like time, so that the new subject will be on one side of the equation and the rest on the other side of the equation. So which means that it's more or less like we are looking for one variable in terms of the other. So the third step that we have to take is the new subject. If the new subject of the formula is contained so the third step we have to take is if the new subject is contained in one than one terms, we take out side. The third step that we are to take is if the new subject is contained in one more than one term. So what do? We take outside the bracket. So here we form a bracket in order to take the common terms out. So that is the meaning of the third step that is involved. And the last step we have to take is to divide both sides by the expression inside the bracket. So here we'll be viewing some questions in which we used to back up the step that has been stated. So here are some questions. So we have this. We are asked to make R the subject of the formula if we have S equals the square root of 2R plus 2 all over 2RT. So you can see how this one feels. So I'm going to rewrite this question so that we can know how the question formulates itself. So here I'm going to be having, so for the first question I'm going to have the square root of so here I have s equals the root of 2r plus t all over 2rt. So in this question where I'm asked to make R the subject of the formula. So how do I make R the subject of the formula? You can see that the square root is covering the fraction inside. So the first thing is to find a way that this square root will leave there, because I'm here to make R the subject formula. So how do I do that? So I will square both sides. If I'm having square root, I will square both sides. But if I'm having square, I'm going to square root both sides. But here I'm going to square both sides. So if I square both sides, so which means that I'm going to have square here. Obviously I'm going to have another square here. So if I have another square here, this guy will cancel the square root here, so I'll be left with s square equals 2r plus t all over 2rt. So here you should know, or you should not forget, that we have to make R the subject formula. Obviously I can put over 1 here in order for me to cross multiply. So here I'm going to have s squared times 2rt which is equal to 1 times all this guy here, 2r plus t. Just because it's 2 times, that's why I need to open a bracket. If we have 2 here, 2 we need to open a bracket because it is not 1 term that is there, so it's 2 terms that is taken all together. So obviously I'm going to make our result formula. So here I'm going to have multiply the two of them together. So I'm going to have 2r cs square equals, so if I use 1 to open the bracket, I'm still going to have 2r plus c. So r is here and r also is here, so which is I must put the two of them at one side and make t to stand alone here. So if this one is come to that side, it's going to change sign. So obviously I'm going to have 2r ts square minus 2r, which is equal to t. So here I'm going to have do some manipulation here. So here now I'm going to have r here, which is common to the both sides, so I can actually factorize r outside. So I have r into brackets 2t s square minus 2, which I close the bracket, which is equals to t. So if we should see this one now, I can see that if you use r to multiply, open the bracket, you have these guys back. So here now I'm going to divide both sides with these guys so that my r can stay alone. So dividing both sides with 2t s square minus this, we divide this side as well. That will be 2t s square minus 2. So here we have this guy cancel this, so I will have it in proper way of writing, which is r equals t all over 2t s square minus 2, which becomes my final answer. So this one becomes my final answer because I've been able to make r the subject of the formula. So we check the next question from our slide, and we still have something like this, which is a final answer for the previous one. So you can go through this one, or you go through my explanation in the previous way. So here we move to another example, and here we have this. We are asked to make h in terms of a, b, c, d. But in this case, we have if a equals b into brackets 1 minus ch, and all over we have into brackets 1 minus dh. So in this case now, I will show you how to go about this so that we can actually follow my procedure. So here, if we want to make h in terms of the other variable, now what does it mean? So which is in this question we are asked to make h in terms of other variable, which is a, b, c, d. So which means that if a is the whole formula, in our answer we are going to have the likes of a, b, c, d. So how do we go about this? So obviously I can put over 1 here and cross multiply. So here we go with this guy here, that is 1 minus dh. We have equals to 1 times everything here, we still remain as this guy. So here, what do I have here? So we have to open the bracket, remember that is h that we have to make the sub formula. So which means that we have a minus a dh, which is equal to b minus b ch. So we collect the like terms here. So if we collect the like terms, so obviously we can make all the h to be on either side, and we make all the remaining variables to be other side. So here I'm going to have minus adh, and this guy here is coming to the other side. So when it comes to the other side, we have plus, because it's having minus here, we have plus b ch, which is equal to, so this guy here is already here, which is b, and this a here is going to the other side, so which is here we are going to be having minus a. So here now we can rearrange this guy to be bch. So this one can come first because it's having positive, minus, so bch minus adh. So here we have b minus a. So we can see that what is common to the both sides is h. So we can make h this to be the subject of the formula. We have open bracket bc minus ad. So here we have equal to b minus a. So now we can divide both sides by the coefficient of h, which is this guy here. So here we now have h to be equals to b minus a all over bc minus a. You can see that it's very simple to make h the subject formula. So we can actually go through my workings here, and we see how we can actually approach the question in easy form. So here now we've been able to make a in terms of the other variable, which is a, b, c, d. You can see that in my answer here we have a, b, c, d present. So it's very easy. So let's go to another question and let's see how it is being formed. So in this one now we are asked to make see the sort of formula, and if you see this question very well, the equation being formed, it's more or less like the one of the physics equation of motion, and that is this s equals ut plus half at squared, and that is second equation of motion. So, and here we are asked to find make the sort of formula. If you look at the nature of this question very well, it's forming is giving a formation of a quadratic equation. So here, and we have used the almighty formula that although we call it a quadratic formula, but it is also generally known as almighty formula to actually solve this problem. So we just need to arrange, and we compare the equation with the general equation so as to analyze our a, our b, and our c. So we now make use of the general formula, which is almighty formula, to solve our question. So at the end of the day we arrive at this final answer. So that is the idea we use for this question. So let's look at another question here, and that is p equals m all over 5 into bracket x plus q plus 1. So here it's very simple, and we have to make q the subject of the formula. So here now we take 1 to the other side first, so as to make other ones to stand alone. So here we are use that 5 to open the bracket. So from there we make q the sub formula. So you can try this one on your own, and you see that you get the final answer based on what I've explained to you earlier. So here now we move to another question, which it looks similar to the first one. So in this form here we have if s equals the root of t squared minus 4t plus 4, we have to find t in terms of s. So here now we have a root covering, although it's giving a kind of quadratic equation, but here we can easily factorize. You can see that the first thing I did is to square both sides so that the square roots can actually disappear. So at the end of the day we have s square equals t squared minus 4t plus 4. So in this form we factorize t squared minus 4t plus 4, and we have a 2 factor, which is t minus 2. If you want to get how we did the factorization method very well, you can check our previous video to see the method that we use to factorize. You see that it's simple, and we have made it easy for us to learn. So here now we have t minus 2, which we have tried to factor the quadratic expression out. So here we have t minus 2 all square, which is the same thing as this guy. So what did we do here is to so what we did here is to square root both sides so that the square can cancel themselves. So here at the end of the day we have t to be equals to x plus 2. So here we have made it simple for us to actually learn. So with this we should be able to solve this ourselves, and we can actually make a over x the subject of the formula. if this is given. So you can actually check the way we have done it. You can pause the video here. From here you can actually pause the video and check how we have actually project the solution. So when you go through it, you should be able to write it down yourself and give a solution if truly you have gotten it. So here is what we have. You can actually put it down and check, and you see that when you divide both side by when you divide both side by x, then you get the final answer to be m minus 1 divided by m plus 1. So let's check this as well, and that is given that p equals x plus y m cube. We are asked to find m in terms of p, x and y. This is very simple, and which means that we are asked to make m the subject of the formula. So we get rid of the other ones to the other side, and that is why we have said that x go first when s went. So we are left with y m cube to the other side. So we divide both side by y so that we can make m the sub formula. So we will be left with p minus x all divided by y, and at the end of the day we find the cube root so that the cube can live here. So that's why we cube root the both side. So from here I'll be leaving some question in order for us also to put our pen on paper to see whether we have gained one or two things. So this will be the end of our lesson for today. I hope we enjoy it.